So my sister asked me to do something with her placenta, but things escalated to the point where I threw it out, and now my family is in chaos. My sister is always intentionally trying to be the odd one out in the family. Recently, she's had her first child, and she decided she wanted to have her placenta taken by some woman and dried and treated, so she could scatter it like ashes or plant it with a tree or whatever. She considers herself very witchy, which causes a lot of friction. The woman was supposed to come pick it up, but then my mom and our aunties surprised my sister with a whole bunch of frozen meals while she's in the newborn phase, and there wasn't enough room in her deep freeze for all the dishes, plus the giant bag of ice and placenta. So my sister texted the woman, and she said it could be dropped off early. My mom essentially volunteered me to drop it off since it was on my way home. I picked up my husband on the way because he had a few drinks after work with friends and was being responsible. When he saw the cooler in the back, he looked in it and was extremely grossed out, seeing the frozen placenta. After some discussion, he also made me realize it was really disrespectful to him, and I to rope us into this, because he has very strong beliefs in God. There was also hygiene and health concerns my husband brought up. It got to a point where it was either he was going to get out of the car and walk, or the placenta needed to be out of the car. I texted my sister to come pick it up and our mom, but after ages without an answer, we ended up throwing it out. She's furious and has started making it other people's problem. I know it wasn't the nicest, but it also doesn't seem like that big of a deal. I offered to cover the deposit she put down with the woman who was going to process it, and I even got her a gift card to the witch store she likes to get some herbs and stuff to do the ritual she wanted, despite it being against my values. She still claims even after apologizing, making amends and covering her losses, I'm an asshole, and she won't let me come see my niece and refuses to come to or bring my niece to family events I'm at, which is causing huge problems within the family. She told me to post the situation here, and if it's hormones or sleep deprivation making her overreact, she will let it go. If I'm in the wrong, I don't know what else I can do that I haven't already to make it up to her. Was this really such an asshole thing, even after the amends? Update 1. Alright, so things have gone totally bonkers with this whole placenta drama. Turns out my sister is not dropping this anytime soon, and somehow I'm in even deeper trouble now. After I threw out the placenta because my husband was ready to leap out of the moving car, I figured she'd be mad but eventually let it go. But nope. My sister has gone next level with her grudge, and now it's not just about the placenta anymore. Now I'm apparently the family villain or something, and she's calling me all sorts of stuff, from disrespectful to ignorant of her beliefs to disruptive of her motherhood journey. My sister thinks I've got some hidden agenda against her new witchy ways. I just thought this would blow over after my attempt at peace offerings, but she's really going for the full revenge arc here. So here's how it all went down since the placenta toss. I tried the gift card peace treaty, and it went downhill fast. She took the card, and instead of accepting the olive branch, she saw it as some kind of twisted proof that I don't get her. She's saying that I'm just trying to buy my way out of her life and dismiss her deeply personal journey. She's calling my efforts at an apology shallow, saying if I was really sorry, I'd have found a way to make it right before I tossed the thing. Even my mom tried to step in, saying I was only doing what I thought was best at the time, but my sister's all, nope, she never tries to understand me or respect my choices. My mom keeps telling me that I should just keep trying to reach out to her because family is everything and all that, but every time I try, my sister just gets more intense about it. Now my mom is frustrated with both of us because it's turning into a family-wide feud over one bag of placenta ice. But here's where it gets really weird. My sister apparently has been telling everyone that she's getting haunted or bad vibes around her house since the placenta got tossed. She legit thinks this is some kind of supernatural consequence, like she's cursed or something now. She's telling anyone who'll listen that she's been having nightmares about her baby and feeling like there's a bad energy around her house since it all went down. She told my mom that she thinks this energy is the spirit of the placenta, angry that it wasn't respected. She says that this whole thing spiritually disrupted her postpartum bonding with her baby, and now she's afraid that the placenta karma will come back on her or her child. My sister even tried to hire another spiritual consultant to help her cleanse her house and restore harmony, but that's just escalating the drama. Apparently, she even tried to make this woman swear to some kind of protection spell that would keep our family on the right path from now on. And then it got more personal. She's been sending me these intense texts about how I crossed a line and how my actions have serious consequences that I don't understand. It feels like I'm getting witchy warnings every day. Now she's saying that I owe her a way bigger apology than just money or a gift card and that she needs me to take spiritual responsibility for what I did. My husband, though, thinks she's taking all of this to a ridiculous level and has been telling me not to apologize anymore. He says she's being manipulative and that she's trying to guilt me for not fully embracing her lifestyle and beliefs, saying that I've already done enough to make things right and that she's just making it worse on herself by not letting it go. Our mom, meanwhile, is 100% caught in the middle of this. She's trying to stay neutral, but she also thinks this whole spiritual angle my sister's pushing is a little much. My mom has even started avoiding the topic of the placenta completely just to keep the peace, which means that every family conversation feels like this giant, awkward game of don't mention the placenta. It's making even simple things like family dinners or casual visits a landmine. My mom keeps saying things like, maybe this will blow over, but it just keeps escalating. My sister keeps telling her that I disrespected her new family and that I don't deserve to be around her baby unless I atone properly. Then there's the issue with my husband. This has now gotten to a point where he doesn't even want me to apologize anymore. He's like, she's gone way too far with this, and thinks she's being way overdramatic about something that's done and can't be undone. He's not exactly thrilled to be involved in this family drama at all, especially because he's already made it clear he doesn't agree with her beliefs. I asked if he'd be okay with me reaching out one more time, but he says, no way. He's even started making jokes about me needing a protection spell against my sister's wrath. It's like he's over it entirely, and his patience is gone. He's just getting frustrated with every new demand from her, especially with her now adding spiritual conditions to her forgiveness. He's like, it's just not reasonable anymore. So I thought, well, maybe if I sent her a really heartfelt letter or something, she might see that I'm not out to disrespect her or anything, that I just didn't think it was safe or respectful to have that in the car with my husband uncomfortable with it. But when I started writing, I just felt stuck. It felt like every word I wrote wasn't going to be good enough for her, or that it would only make her angrier. I ended up deleting the draft because I just couldn't see how anything I say will actually make her feel better about it. I'm at the point where I just want this to be over, but I don't think she's ready to move on from it at all. My mom says I should keep trying to rebuild the trust, but every time I do, it's like she's even more mad. At this point, my sister has even told some of her friends and our cousins about the whole thing, and they're all apparently siding with her. Now they're all convinced I'm the heartless sister who doesn't respect ancestral bonds or something like that. One of my cousins texted me asking if I even care about family traditions, which threw me because we don't have any ancestral placenta rituals in our family at all. It's like she's taken this whole thing to an extreme I didn't expect, and now everyone's looking at me like I'm the villain. The latest? She says she won't let me meet my niece or be a part of her life until I've shown her I'm serious about respecting her boundaries, which is ridiculous because I don't even know what more I can do that I haven't already tried. Update 2. Now somehow, it's like this thing has turned into a full-on family drama series, and every episode is just me somehow ending up worse off than before. I thought this whole thing might start dying down after all the craziness in the last update, but it turns out that was just the beginning of her whole personal journey against me. Since then, she's been doing everything to get people in the family to see her side, which would be fine. But it's like her side is a whole conspiracy theory about me being intentionally unsupportive of her path to self-discovery. She's basically treating me like I'm the reason for every bad thing that's happened to her since she decided to be witchy and raise her baby in this ancestral spirit kind of way. And apparently the placenta situation was, in her words, the ultimate betrayal. I'd laugh if it wasn't such a mess. Now, she's taken it a step further by hosting this kind of healing ceremony at her house with a few of her spiritual friends. She invited a couple of our cousins and even some of our more open-minded family members to cleanse the energy around her and her baby. It was all supposed to mend the harmful spiritual disturbance I apparently caused by disrespecting her placenta. She didn't invite me, obviously, but I heard about it from our cousin who actually went. He called me afterward and said, "Well, I didn't really believe all this stuff before, but now I kind of feel like she's right about needing a fresh start." She apparently did a whole speech about how she's been struggling to find peace since she feels I've sent negativity into her life, and she's convinced that unless I do something to fix it, the energy will stay messed up. After that ceremony, she even texted me, saying that she'd be open to rebuilding trust if I'd just be willing to acknowledge the harm I did. But what she means by that is basically me sitting down with her and listening to her explain how this was all a spiritual betrayal or something. She wants me to say I understand that I destroyed some essential bond between her and her baby, and that I recognize how sacred her beliefs are. I tried to tell her that I didn't mean any harm by throwing it out, that I was just following my gut, and that I was sorry if it hurt her feelings. She wrote back with this long text about how I refuse to respect her worldview and how she's just sick of me pretending to be innocent when I knew exactly what I was doing. She even told me that if I don't make a real effort to change, she doesn't want me around her child ever. At this point, my husband is done with trying to understand her. He's like, if she wants to cut you out of her life over something like this, let her. But the problem is, my mom's now pretty much begging me to just do what my sister wants because it's causing her stress and making every family gathering an awkward mess. My mom feels caught in the middle, and she told me she wishes I'd just go along with it, if only to bring back peace in the family. She says, if it's just saying a few things, it's worth it to keep the family together. But I don't know if I can just lie and say I suddenly understand my sister's whole belief system when I really don't. Then things escalated again. Apparently, my sister has started a group chat with some of the cousins and family friends she thinks would be supportive of her. She's been telling them all about her journey and struggles with feeling unsupported and misunderstood, basically painting this picture of herself as the black sheep who's being mistreated by the family, me, specifically, just because she's different. Now I'm hearing from these people, with some even texting me to be more open or saying, if you just listened to her more, maybe you'd understand her point of view. It's gotten to the point where I'm now the one feeling isolated, like I'm some kind of family outcast for just trying to be respectful of my husband's and my own beliefs. But of course, my sister isn't stopping there. She's apparently planning some sort of spiritual retreat, where she wants to invite family members to connect with her and her new way of life. She mentioned in the group chat that this would be a healing opportunity for anyone struggling to understand her journey, to come and experience what she's about firsthand. I found this out through another family member who's been keeping me updated on all the latest drama. She told me, "You know she's trying to get you to go, right? This is all about getting you there." It's like every time I try to step back, she finds a new way to bring me into her world, as if she thinks that eventually I'll just give in and join her witchy lifestyle. Honestly, I feel like I'm stuck in some sort of witchy-themed family soap opera that I never signed up for. Every day, there's a new plot twist, and every one of them makes me the bad guy somehow. And it's not even like I'm against her wanting to be spiritual or different. I just don't want to be forced into it myself. But now it seems like I don't really have a choice if I want to be a part of the family. I mean, she even told me that she feels her baby can sense when I'm around because my energy is still negative and not supportive of their spiritual connection. She straight up thinks her baby will grow up feeling spiritually disconnected if I don't find a way to make this right. It's like she's now blaming me for her future parenting struggles before they've even happened. On top of that, she's now blocked me from seeing any pictures of my niece on social media and says that if I can't respect her, then I don't deserve to be in her daughter's life. I tried reaching out to her directly, asking if there was any way we could talk without all the extra stuff. Just a real one-on-one without bringing in the whole spiritual angle. She answered back by telling me that until I'm ready to acknowledge the energy I disrupted, she doesn't see the point. She says I need to take full responsibility for this so she can move forward with a clean spirit. I'm honestly at a loss here. I thought we'd eventually find some middle ground, but it's starting to feel like there is none. If I don't go along with her whole cleansing thing, she won't let me have any relationship with my niece, and now she's got half the family on her side thinking I'm in the wrong. My mom keeps saying I should go to the retreat just to try, but I feel like if I go, I'll just be dragged into something I don't want to be a part of. My husband is still completely against the idea, saying I've done more than enough already and that if she's choosing to cut me off over this, then maybe that's her problem. Now, every time we have a family event, it's like I'm the outcast. She stopped talking to me directly, and when we're all together, she'll just go silent if I'm in the room. It's beyond awkward, and I feel like my family is now split over something that started with a simple bag of frozen placenta. The cousins that went to her ceremony are all weirdly distant with me now, like they're afraid I'm going to infect them with my non-believing energy or something. Even simple conversations feel loaded, like they're all watching what they say in case it's not spiritually respectful enough. I'm honestly torn. Part of me wants to go just to make her happy and put this all behind us, but another part of me feels like this whole situation has spiraled out of control, and going would just be giving in to something that doesn't make sense to me.